Have you ever sensed that something was wrong before anyone else seemed to notice? Maybe it was tension in a family. Maybe it was emotional trouble in a relationship. Maybe it was burnout in a workplace. Maybe it was something larger, like political cruelty, climate instability, or the slow loss of compassion in public life. As highly sensitive people, we often notice the fine print in the environment. We pick up tone, mood, contradiction, danger, and the emotional shifts before they become obvious to others. Elaine Aron's work on high sensitivity suggests that this trait is not a flaw. It may be part of a deeper survival strategy. Nature may have placed highly sensitive people in the human population for a reason. We may be in some ways early warning systems for the tribe. But that raises a hard question. If we see trouble coming, how do we communicate that to people who do not see it yet? Hi, this is Bill Allen of Thoughts with a Sensitive Man. Today we'll be talking about HSPs as Mother Nature's messengers. I often think of HSPs as canaries in the coal mine. The canary was not stronger than the miners, it was simply more sensitive to danger in the air. Its sensitivity became information that could protect the whole group. HSPs can function in a similar way. We often sense emotional toxicity, social cruelty, environmental strain, and cultural instability early. We notice when people are becoming numb to suffering. We notice when language becomes dehumanizing. We notice when families, workplaces, or communities are moving toward harm. But here's the challenge. A warning is only useful if it can be heard. And many people do not want to hear a warning that challenges their internal map of reality. People are not just defending opinions. Often they are defending identity, family conditioning, religious beliefs, political loyalty, class resentment, personal fear, and a need to belong. So when an HSP says something is wrong here, the other person may hear, "You are wrong," or they may hear, "You are bad," or they may hear, "You are foolish," or they may hear, "You are part of the problem." This is not what we meant, but it may be what they receive. This is why the messenger matters as much as the message. If we sound superior, people shut down. If we sound panicked, people dismiss us. If we sound contemptuous, people defend themselves. The HSP task is not simply to be right. The task is to make reality more visible. There are several things that may inhibit HSPs from fulfilling this role. First, many of us fear rejection. We do not like conflict. We feel criticism deeply, so we may stay silent when something needs to be said. Second, we become emotionally overloaded. When we sense danger, we often feel it in our bodies. If we speak from that intensity, others may react to our emotions instead of our insight. Third, we may become morally frustrated. HSPs often have a strong conscience. When others ignore suffering or cruelty, we may become impatient, but no one likes to be scolded into awareness. Fourth, we may make the message too complex. HSPs see nuance, patterns, history, and consequences, but sometimes the tribe needs one clear sentence before it can hear the whole story. And fifth, many of us carry the wounds of not being believed. If we were told we were too sensitive, too emotional, or too dramatic, then being dismissed now can reopen an old wound. Before we speak, we need to regulate ourselves. A grounded HSP is far more effective than an overwhelmed HSP. We also need humility. Being perceptive does not make us infallible. It helps to say, "This is what I'm noticing," or "I may be wrong, but this concerns me." We need to translate our message. Not everyone understands intuition or subtle perception. Some people need practical consequences, concrete examples, or a connection to family, faith, freedom, safety, or community. We need to lead with shared values. People listen better when they feel respected, not attacked. And finally, we need to accept partial success. Some people will not listen, some will mock us, some will remember later, some will change quietly and never even tell us. Our job is not to control the outcome. Our job is to speak clearly and plant seeds. When we sense trouble ahead, there are several things we must communicate. We must tell people to pay attention to what they are normalizing. Cruelty, dishonesty, emotional numbness, and environmental destruction often becomes normal slowly. We must remind people that what we ignore eventually demands attention. Denial is not protection. We must help reframe sensitivity as information. The body notices, the heart notices, the conscience notices, and the nervous system notices as well. We must remind the tribe that it needs its watchers. A culture that only listens to the loud, aggressive, and dominant will eventually miss what quieter people have been sensing all along. And we must make clear that preparation is not panic. Warning is not hysteria. Preparation is an act of hope because it assumes that action is still possible. Not every HSP is called to speak to the whole world. Some are called to speak inside a family, a workplace, a men's group, a church, a classroom, a neighborhood, or a creative community. Scale does not determine importance. A father who helps his son name emotional truth has served the future. A neighbor who notices isolation and reaches out may prevent despair. A writer who names cultural danger may help someone feel less alone. The HSP mission is often quiet, local, and relational. If HSPs are Mother Nature's messengers, then our sensitivity is not just a private trait. It is a responsibility. We're not here merely to be overwhelmed by the world. We're here to notice, interpret, prepare, and speak. But we must mature as messengers. We must regulate our emotions, refine our language, respect the listener, and resist the temptation to sound superior. Some will not listen. That has always been true. Still, the warning matters. Our task is not to win every argument. It's to help the tribe notice what is changing in the air and to say with steadiness and care, something is happening here. We need to pay attention. Thank you for listening to Thoughts with a Sensitive Man. If you found this episode valuable, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might benefit. Your support helps us reach more highly sensitive men and those who care about them. Until next time, take good care of yourself.